Hi, this is Murray from Second Time Tech, and today I'm going to be testing out 3 different microphones. And you may be able to see 4, but I'll explain that in a minute. And the microphones that I'm going to be testing out is the Neewer NW-7000, which I've had for quite a long time now, about 10 months. And the Neewer NW-410s, which are instrument microphones. They're the 2 up there. And then my lavalier COMICA CVM-V02 microphone. Now, I want to talk just a little bit about how I set it up. I did it the way I did it, I don't know if it was the last time or not, I can't quite remember. But I put a tone generator approximately where my mouth is, and I put all the microphones and set them up for minus 12 dB. And I tested it out at the beginning to make sure that I was talking at about minus 20 dB. So I took one of the microphones, set the level to minus 12 dB on that, and then equal out all the other microphones to the one microphone. Right now I'm talking on the Neewer NW-7000, which is this one here. Now, the reason why I have 2 NW-410s is because this one has a super cardioid polar pattern, and this one has the cardioid polar pattern. Because these ones have different ends that you can change, or capsules that you can change, and switch them between omnidirectional, cardioid, and supercardioid. I'm saying that word wrong. Not cardioid, cardioid. Sorry about that. Anyway, so basically what I wanted to do was to talk a little bit on each one and then leave a little bit of quiet so that you can hear the noise floor. So I'll be quiet right now for the NW-7000. There. Now I switched to the NW-410, which is this one here, which is the super cardioid polar pattern. Now, you are hearing room noise, so just remember that you're comparing one microphone to the other for the amount of noise. You're not saying, I don't want you to say that this is how much noise that they have, because they don't. This room has noise in it. So I'll just be a little bit quiet and I'll tell you what the noise level in the room is. For this microphone, the noise level was about minus 51 dB. The room noise for this microphone is minus 54 dB. Now I've switched to the cardioid polar pattern. And basically what that's doing is it's not picking up as much at the back of the microphone, but it's picking more up from the sides. So, but it's the same microphone as that one. They are matched pairs, so they should be really, really close. So I'll be quiet for a bit so that you can hear that one. I'd say that that one is probably at about minus 47 dB, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. Just kind of checking it out. But anyway, so that's that microphone. Now I'll be quiet for a little bit so that you can hear again, and then I'll switch over to the last microphone. There. Now I'm talking on my lavalier microphone, the COMICA CVM-V02. From now on, I'm just going to call it the COMICA lavalier because it's a long name. Anyway, so now what I want to do was to talk about each microphone, and I will switch to that microphone and I'll tell you the specifications that I know about the microphone. So now I'm talking on the Neewer NW-7000. And this microphone has a unidirectional polar pattern, which is cardioid. The frequency response of 20 Hz to 18 kHz. The sensitivity is minus 34 dB. The output impedance is 150 ohms. The load impedance is 1000 ohms. The self noise is 16 dB. And the maximum SPL is 134 dB. Signal to noise ratio is 78 dB. And it requires 5 volts or 48 volts phantom power. Now I'll switch to the NW-410. So now we're on the super cardioid polar pattern on the NW-410. Now I have the sheet on this one. So basically what they're saying is the frequency response is 30 Hz to 18 kHz, minus 38 dB, output impedance 100 ohms, self noise 24 dB, maximum input SPL 135 dB, signal to noise ratio 70 dB, and the power requirements is 9 volts to 12 volts. 9 volts to 52 volts. We're got 12 out of that, but anyway, so that's that one. So now I switch to the cardioid pattern one, and it says in the packing list that you get 2 microphones, 2 microphone holders, but it doesn't come with the adapters to switch it to a from the mic stand to like the tripod stand. So it doesn't have that adapter. I can't remember what the actual size of the adapters are, but it doesn't have them. I had to take the one from my Neewer in order to put the microphone up here, because that one has the one for the camera on it and not the one for the microphone style. So that's a little bit of a pain. And then it's got extra capsules. It's got 4 of them, plus the 2 that are on each microphone. So you get 6 of them total. You get 2 omnidirectional, 2 cardioid, and 2 supercardioid. And then you get 2 windscreens, and then you get a case. Now I'll switch to the COMICA lavalier mic. Now the microphone has these specifications, but there's not a lot of them. It's an omnidirectional polar pattern. Its frequency range is 100 Hertz to 12 kilohertz. Total harmonic distortion is less than or equal to 1%. The sensitivity is 35 dB, and the signal to noise ratio is 60 dB. And that's all that they give you on that. They don't give you what the self noise is, but I'm assuming it's quite high, because if you're listening to this, you'll notice that whenever it's quiet, the noise level is quite high. But that's because this is omnidirectional. It's picking up everything around me. So it's a little bit different than the other ones. So now I went back to the Neewer NW-7000. And what I'll do now is I'll point at the microphone and I will say a tongue twister like I did on a couple of my other videos. And I won't announce the name of each one. I'll just point to them so that you're not having me say anything different in between, so that you can actually hear the difference between them. A tutor who tooted a flute tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the toot of the tutor, is it harder to tutor, or to tutor 2 tutors to toot? A tutor who tooted a flute tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the toot of the tutor, is it harder to tutor, or to tutor 2 tutors to toot? Tutor who tooted a flute tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the toot of the tutor, is it harder to tutor, or to tutor 2 tutors to toot? A tutor who tooted a flute tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the toot of the tutor, is it harder to tutor, or to tutor 2 tutors to toot? There, that's the 4 of them on that. And then now I'll say that little limerick that I had said. The first one's more like, I guess, more like for a pop filter type thing, because there's a lot of T's in it, so you'll be able to hear if there's any poppiness in the microphones. This one is a little broader range. My limerick. It's not my limerick. I learned it in grade 3 or 4. I can't quite remember. I think it was grade 4. But anyway. There was an old man from Peru who dreamt he was eating a shoe. He woke in the night with a terrible fright and found it was perfectly true. There was an old man from Peru who dreamt he was eating a shoe. He woke in the night with a terrible fright and found it was perfectly true. There was an old man from Peru who dreamt he was eating a shoe. He woke in the night with a terrible fright and found it was perfectly true. There was an old man from Peru who dreamt he was eating his shoe. He woke in the night with a terrible fright and found it was perfectly true. There, now I'm back on the NW-7000. I was pre-listening to these, and I'm sorry I didn't get my video a little earlier, because I was hoping for Saturday and then for Monday, but every time I did it I found something a little bit different to do. And it wasn't until I was talking to my wife yesterday that I thought of putting the 2 microphones, one in a supercardioid and one in the cardioid polar pattern. I had tried it a bunch of different ways, and it wasn't working out for me. So I think this is probably the best that I can do right now anyway. So that's my video. If you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. If you like the content, then please subscribe. I want to wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.